We're live.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of StreamKey. It's been a minute, so I apologize if I'm rusty. I know it's been a couple months. Life's gotten a little crazy, but we are back finally with a whole bunch of stuff to talk about with two amazing guests. We'll start with the co-host, Sadomi. What's going on, my guy?
What's up, everybody? We're having a great, wonderful Monday, and we back in the game. Hey.
There we go. And then we got Dogg Gaming. What's going on, dude?
How you doing? Good to be back. Great to see you back as well, Velokk.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you. You as well. And then we got Mr. Pure Instinct. What's going on, man?
What's up, dude? Glad to be back. Missed the show. Missed your face.
I missed everything, man. Seriously. Not streaming and not doing the podcast for 2 months was big tough. On top of everything else that was going on, that was tough for sure. But we're back now finally, so things are good. So we got a lot of topics, and just a heads up, we are going to be talking a little bit about the rise and everything going on because it is a huge issue. I know this is primarily about streaming and stream news, everything like that, but it is a big issue, and as content creators, we all feel like we should say something because that's just what we do. So, but to start it off with, we got the first topic, which is the Valorant Tourney on Twitch. Everybody should know what Valorant is. It's the new game by Riot, and it's amazing. It's fantastic. So they're gonna have a tournament within during the first week of launch. So it should be this week, I imagine. Which is cool because, as you guys remember from previous episodes, way back when, probably 3 or 4 months ago, when we were hearing about YouTube purchasing the rights to Overwatch League. What other games are on there? I think Rocket League might have been on there. I can't remember. League of Legends, It was League of Legends.
No, it was Overwatch. It was Activision Blizzard. So
Activision,
Call of Duty, anything with Activision Blizzard. So Overwatch, Call of Duty.
Okay.
Hearthstone.
Yeah. So Hearthstone. Yep, that's another big one as well. So a lot of things are going to be on YouTube now. So it's cool to have Valorant. Hopefully it'll be sticking on Twitch, because as a huge fan of Twitch and Valorant, I would like it to be here. But what do you guys, if any of you guys have anything to talk about with the Valorant tournaments on Twitch at all? I don't know. Some of you have definitely played Valorant.
Yeah, I love Valorant as a game. I think it's not only really fun, I like that it runs on poop computers, because I have a rock of a machine.
Yep.
So yeah, glad it works there. Tournament? Yeah, just another tournament, another PR stunt. I'm not sure if it's going to be super hype going in, because people have already experienced the beta. Some people have already played the game, so people are excited for it. Some people aren't. So I want to see when the numbers come out, how it actually performs.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Dogg Gaming, you got anything on this?
Well, I mean, I played Valorant. I'm not really that huge a fan of it, but I think this is a good. This is a good matchup. I won't get into that. I'm trying not. I've got my views, and
Right.
But, this is good. This is fantastic. It makes sense. Look, if you're looking at Valorant, you really need to look and compare it to who they've decided they're going up against, and that's CS:GO. That they've laid their stall out early. They've made it known, and I think I said on this show before, it is to CS:GO what League of Legends is to Dota. Very, very similar pattern and plan of action that they've got. So hooking up with Twitch to me is a good idea, because CS:GO has some of the best funded and watched esports scene around. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
absolutely. It's set up, it's established, it's there, it works all the time. They have to kickstart the Valorant scene as quickly as possible, and using Twitch to do it. It's sensible. So yeah, I can understand why they're doing it. I'll be interested in seeing the numbers again. So as I have no dog in the fight, I don't really play CS:GO. I don't play Valorant. So as a sort of neutral, it'll be good to see, to see how the numbers work out and how things go with the game. I can see every time I say I'm not. I'm just stabbing Velokk with something.
This guy clearly doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't know who brought him in here.
I'm not judgment. People can enjoy any game they like, But yeah, it will be interesting, and it is a clever move. Also, I'm not surprised. Look, the way that they went with the keys, the beta keys, that was a first for Twitch. So, look, I think these things are already well planned out, already negotiated, contracted, and everything. So to me, it's not really that much of a surprise that we're seeing this, and I think we'll see a lot more. But it'll be good for the scene. Anybody that's into Valorant, this is good. This is good for you. This is excellent.
Especially as a content creator on Twitch, if you definitely want to be on the same platform as where the pro scene is. It's just like when Call of Duty switched from MLG being on Xbox to PlayStation, people stopped buying Xboxes as much for Call of Duty. They started buying PlayStations for it. So I imagine the same thing would go with the audience watching the content. MPI, what do you have on this one?
I mean, it makes sense. They already have a good working relationship with Twitch. Obviously, things went very well for the beta and for viewership for the beta, so it makes sense to leave it here. People already know that this is the place to watch it. Why now would you go change that? It's like changing what network your TV show's on halfway through the season. People are going to just be confused. So staying with the company who you already have a good working relationship with and that people know where to find it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I thought that was really cool. It's not necessarily anything about that. It's not anything that would really help you out as a streamer at all, but I just thought it was good news for Twitch in general. So next topic we have is Twitch signs multi-year deals with Summit 1G, Dakotas, and Josh OG. Very cool stuff. I can't believe it took this long to get Summit signed exclusively to Twitch, to be honest. But regardless, they got him, and they got 2 other good content creators. I think it's great. Anybody got anything on this one?
Well, onto your comment about it taking Twitch that long, I was more surprised Summit didn't push for a contract sooner. Because who has the power there?
Oh, it's definitely it's tough because you would think that the streamer kind of does, but also as we've seen from Ninja and Shroud switching over to Mixer, they got a lot of money out of it for sure, but like we were talking before the show started, it kind of affected their brand. And we're going to get into a little bit of the numbers of Mixer and everything later on because we got some topics to talk about with that. But I definitely see what you're saying, though. Summit definitely has holds the cards in a way, but at the same time, it's sketchy switching platforms for sure.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Go ahead.
Well, it does hold the cards, but see, if he only wants to stay on Twitch, that kind of removes some of his power, because you can only take negotiations with other companies so far. Do you know what I mean? I'm just doing this to try and make sure Twitch know what they could miss out on, So, I get what you're saying. It is surprising. Look, it is surprising that it's taking so long because Summit's a huge content creator and a long-term huge content creator on Twitch. Yeah. Dakota's, he's newer. The less I won't say about Josh OG. I have my views on him, and we'll stay away from that. But yeah, it's a sort of, it could go either way with that one. You could say it's surprising that Twitch took as long, and but you could also be like, they might have just felt really confident. He's going nowhere. Let's get other people tied up that maybe be a little bit more likely to leave. And we'll come back on Summit because he's a banker, basically. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. With Summit, he's always expressed his love for Twitch. He's always expressed publicly that he would not want to switch platforms. I mean, business-wise, he's never going to say he would never switch platforms because that right there takes away however much Twitch paid him just for a contract, cuts that in half automatically.
Yeah.
So I doubt he would really want to publicly say that, but I think no one was surprised when Summit said, "Yeah, I'm staying on Twitch." It's like, well, duh.
Yeah.
Obvi, bro.
I also think Summit's more interested in having an audience. I think. Yeah. I think. When we're talking about Ninja and Shroud, they have taken a hit with their brand, but they've made that generational cash. They could stop streaming right now and live the life of Riley. And and have no worries, and I don't think that is really, from what I can see, I don't really think that that's Summit's main priority. He seems to be more driven by the idea of streaming, of having community and having fun with new games and old games and the whole lot, you know?
Right. Yeah, because there was a time where like just before he switched to playing Sea of Thieves, like what was it, last year or something like that, where like he had noticed a decline in his viewership, and he even stated live on stream that he wants to build a community again. He wants to start, having fun with games and having fun with chat. And then he started getting into things like Sea of Thieves, and then he blew up, I guess. You know what I mean? Like he was already, like he had already done really well for himself, but he was starting to see a decline. He wasn't getting bad numbers by any means, but to see that the re-explosion of Summit 1G was really cool. And you can see that he just wants to stream and have fun. He's not, like you were saying, he's not doing it for the generational wealth necessarily. He's doing it just for the sake of streaming video games, basically.
Yeah.
MPI?
I mean, I think you guys kind of said pretty much all of it.
Wow, dude. All right, cool.
I mean, you did. Like, I agree. No, I don't think anyone ever thought he's gonna leave. Like, this is his home, and that's all there is to it. And I don't know that anyone else could have offered him enough money to go there. I think probably because he's also, he's gonna play the long con. He's not gonna look at it and go, "Yeah, dude, I can make a bunch of money today," and then never be able to, do what I'm doing now until this contract expires. He wants to, like you said, he streams. He enjoys it. This is what he does. This is who he is. Yeah. So I think looking at it that way, it's kind of a lot different than the if you just, are taking a paycheck and that's it. And he probably looked at those other two big people who moved and, went, dang, dude, that did not go well. So even if I wanted to, maybe it's now, it's not the time to do it.
Right.
True. Yeah. One thing I can add to that is money isn't the only currency there is either.
Right.
Influence is a big one. Like I think it's 100% sure why Shroud and Nyx are actually moved. They didn't really care about the money they get from the move. I'm sure it's nice, but I'm sure like Shroud and two of the biggest content creators on the platform, I'm sure they were not hurting for a few dollars here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the influence of having that power on a platform was more important to them.
Yeah.
Which, that's a valuable currency in and of itself. So I wouldn't ever look at this from a purely, he took it for money, or, he only wanted to be king on the platform. You got to take all that and kind of figure out what's best for each individual person, each individual situation.
Yeah.
I agree. I definitely agree. It's just cool to see, I mean, I don't really watch Josh OG or Dakotas, but I know that, they are good content creators. But Summit is a content creator that I definitely look up to and enjoy watching. And it's cool to, that we're keeping him here. The next topic we have is Twitch wants to do unscripted live reality programming. So they're looking into doing like reality shows, game shows, dating shows, or something like that. Apparently they want to stay away from what are those, the escape room things or whatever. That's like the one thing that they said they definitely don't want to do. But how do you guys feel about having like reality TV programming unscripted? They're interacting with chat. Like it I'll let you guys talk first.
Personally, and I realize this might just be my personal opinion, I'm really, really not interested. And again, this is my opinion. People are again entitled to like what they like, but from my point of view, it's trash. It's just really the worst entertainment out there. It's and I don't know. From my point of view, if I had control, no chance. But again, look, people like what they like, and I'm not here to tell people that they're renting or for liking something. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I just personally feel like dating shows, really, dating shows. Like it's one step away from The Only Way is Essex and stuff like that. It's just. Oh my! It's brain drain, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. MPI.
I mean, I honestly I agree with you, Dogg. Like, it's not my kind of content. I'm not gonna tell people that they aren't allowed to like something. I don't understand it. And I kind of like you said, Dogg, think it's like the lowest form of content. Because it is scripted 99% of the time. And it's just like is just throwing garbage into the world. So like
Oh,
dating
yeah.
shows and like that kind of stuff is just like I don't like it. I would never watch it. I can't imagine there's a large audience for that on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's like I don't think that's the right way to go. If they wanted to do like maybe some game shows or something more along those lines that can be like an unscripted but still kind of scripted kind of thing, I think that would do a lot better than here's Twitch The Bachelor, whatever, you know. And two, I think like
that got me way too off guard.
I think that, you know, if they did something like a game show or things similar to like Twitch Rivals, but maybe it's not in video games, maybe it's like a day where people try to learn how to play like flag football or something, you could involve the your big creators on the platform and get more eyes on it.
Yeah.
The only thing I can
That would
think
be
is this
cool.
is like they want this to bring more eyes to Twitch, but how many people who watch the Kardashians are going to be like, yep, I know what Twitch is. I'm going to Twitch. I'm going to watch Twitch The Bachelor on Twitch. I don't know. It seems weird to me. Like,
Right.
where did this come from? It's very out of left field.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Sadomi.
Yeah, so essentially the way I'm thinking this is going to go is they're going to focus on acquiring as many new users to the platform by introducing them to these shows. I fully expect them to have TV ads, heavy internet ads outside of the gaming space. So you won't see these ads on like gaming websites. You won't see these ads on the place we normally go to. We'll see them on maybe TV networks. You'll see them on beauty channels. You'll see them on other content that's not gaming centric, because you're not going to be able to keep every single person happy on Twitch. That is a failing game.
Yeah.
So what you want to do for a business standpoint, you want to bring in as many new users as possible and see how many of them stick around. If you bring in 1 million new people watching Twitch and only 1% stays around, that's still 10,000 people? 100,000 people? 100,000 people? Yeah, so that's not bad, considering I think the monthly active users for Twitch is 1 million.
Right.
Something around there. So that's 10% increase. Not bad. So
Right.
they're going to focus on bringing outside people in. They're not really aiming this for us. They know we're not going to like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it definitely seems like it's like, you know, because I've watched reality TV and some of it's definitely garbage. Some of it is like entertaining to a point. But it just seems like it's gonna get flooded, I guess, basically with just like content that nobody wants. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not worried about reality TV shows stealing my viewers. I'm worried about just the idea of Twitch being a cluttered mess. Like,
Yeah.
what is Twitch? You know what I mean?
I seen someone in chat saying that it's content, and maybe some of the viewership will end up liking what we're doing here on Twitch and give more of a viewer range. But honestly, how small is that percentage? Like,
Right.
I'm without, you know, like, and again, it's not judgment on people, but what's the Venn diagram for people that like reality TV and people that like to watch streamers? You know, again, I get what Sadomi's saying, that it's actually trying to just create an entire new market, even if it's separate, you know. But I don't know, man. I don't know. To me, it feels forced. And the other thing you were saying about the saturation is these programs are so cheap to put out, you know, which is why it's easy to saturate, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's easy to just churn this content out, just like mince. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It just seems like they're messing with the integrity of what Twitch is just to make more money. And I get that they're a business and they are like a business's job is to make more money, obviously. But what, like, is it really worth it? You know what I mean? Is it worth just like taking from Twitch being a thing about content creators? You know what I mean? Like, the jump from just gaming to, you know, including just chatting and music and art and all that stuff like that is not a big jump at all. And it's something that was really just well received by everybody. It might not be the most watched stuff, you know, as far as like the creative categories go. It might not be the most watched stuff, but there's still people that like that. And there's been no issues with having it on Twitch. But when you start bringing in reality TV, that just it messes with the whole idea of what Twitch is. It's just
Yeah, Diashon says in chat, Twitch is about to get History Channeled on MTV. Yeah, this is
even worse, about to get G4 TV'd.
Oh my god!
And that's what I mean. Like, what is it? How do they see Twitch? Like, this is from me for content creators, and as you said, like artists and all that, musicians. These are content creators. You know that like. How is a game show? Where is the connection to Twitch in that? It's just like turning Twitch into standard daytime television. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we can just churn out daytime television, and then later on we'll get some big partner streamers on you could watch. Do you know what I mean? Stick around on Twitch while we give you ads. To me, you know, I don't know. As you can tell, I'm right against it.
Now I want to see what. I want to see what will actually. So how do you guys imagine they could improve it from the like? How could we make it work?
Reality TV?
Yeah, on Twitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost audio.
Oh,
Are we good?
are we lost?
I don't
Hello?
know.
Hold on. I'm going to turn it off and on again.
We're good. Yeah. Wait.
All
Yeah,
right.
we're good. We're good.
Are we good?
Okay.
Yeah, that was Susie.
All right. So MPI, if you want to just
OBS, please.
re-say what you just said. Sorry.
That's good. So I think instead of like reality TV, I would rather see taped shows that I can watch be taped. So think about your old sitcoms. People would actually go sit in an audience and they would watch it be taped, and that's where your laugh track came from. That's where your awes would come from when there was a cute moment and things like that. I would much rather see people be able to talk in chat about like what they think's going to happen next in a show that's being recorded than here is the next garbage dating show or whatever other reality TV trope they're going to take. And because at least then it brings in people who maybe aren't here for video games, art, or anything, but it's also not just garbage. It could actually have some sustenance to the content that they're making. I think that would be a lot cooler, and people would probably be more interested in it, especially people who are already here.
True. I think what would be cool is there was a huge surge of roleplay streamers in GTA last year. And I think that would be a cool thing to do with like a TV show, because you're essentially watching a TV show. You're watching people act a certain way. They're acting like a certain character. And so when you see other characters that you know from other channels come into that one, it's like your shows are meshing together. You know what I mean? It's like all your favorite characters and streamers are coming together, for a storyline, which is really fun to watch. And I think a way to make that into like a series almost, but a little bit more unscripted, because capturing the moment of live content that's not scripted is amazing. So something like that I think would be really, really cool for this idea, as opposed to a dating show with real people not set in a video game. You know what I mean? It would also fit a lot better on Twitch, in my opinion.
What if they did all of the dating shows in dating sims?
But that would that would be And there's a crossover. Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Now there's a crossover. Now the Venn diagram changes.
Right.
See, looking from to answer Bailey's question, looking from the ones, to me, they specifically said they don't want to do escape rooms. That's the only one out of that list that I would at all have any look at. Like, it's a game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only. And then, no, we specifically don't want that one. Right? To me, the escape room, there's a crossover there. It's more of a there's a puzzle element. There's a thing like. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there could even be a way of getting streamers involved.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like watching Tim the Tatman do that would be hilarious.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you see what I'm saying?
That'd be
Like,
so cool.
Yeah, that would be, but like, you know, like honestly, reality TV dating shows, even if they tried to do it with streamers, I'm really not interested. Even if they made it like, oh, we're going to do a streamer dating show, I'd still be like, no thanks.
Somebody tried to do that one time on regular TV, and it was awful.
I'm sure.
It was like they had a lot of like very stereotypical, like attractive women and a bunch of stereotypical nerds, and they were like, "All right, now y'all live in this house together, date." I was like, "This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life."
That sounds like garbage, dude. And that's what reality TV is. It's just garbage. It's just pointless.
Which is why
content.
they have to script it. It's why they have to script so much of it, because there's nothing going to happen otherwise. They're just ordinary people living ordinary lives.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
No one wants to see people just live
Every
life.
week there has to be a cliffhanger. Every week somebody needs to fling some water in somebody's face. Do you know what I mean? Like,
there always has to be like a useless drama for no reason.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
At this
Does Twitch need any more of that?
Just make soap operas and put them on Twitch. Like, damn, dude.
Like, does Twitch need any more excess drama? Like, there's enough useless drama created just on Twitch itself.
That's what it's gonna
actually
be.
That's
gonna be
honestly,
a reality show of Twitch drama.
That's actually a good idea. Also, think of a reality show on Twitch with like Alinity, that one streamer who was begging for subs and donations. You know, all these streamers that are super controversial. You know what I mean? Imagine any reality TV show with any of them.
I already hate
and like that's just gonna get attention just because like that respect to content creators, you know, put that aside or whatever, but that would be a shit show. And people would watch it because it would be an absolute shit show. You wouldn't even need to have a premise for a reality show. You wouldn't even need to script it because eventually some weird shit's gonna happen.
Honestly, it'd be the most boring shows ever because they're just gonna play games all day.
That's true. That's true. Man, I don't
10
know.
minutes of human interaction every 2 hours.
Then there's log in the Discord. Hey guys.
Yeah. It's just them typing in Discord all day. That's the interaction.
And eating cats.
Yeah.
I do think that the events would be really successful, get streamers together to participate in something, and it would just be great. Do a mud run, have a volleyball tournament, watch some airsoft. It would be fun to watch and hilarious at the same time.
Exactly.
So, some of those things are definitely better than, you know, a dating show for sure, like by a lot.
I don't know.
Easy.
We used to have a
PUBG.
show, Games Without Frontiers, it was called, right? Where people would, you put on these big stupid costume things and run about trying to do things that the costumes stop you being able to do. You know what I mean? Like, and they used to get sports stars involved in it. You know, and it was really popular television, and that's the thing. Like, these are the kind of crossovers that you could do. Like again, Tim the Tapman trying to run up a sticky wall. Do you know what I mean?
Imagine streamers doing a Twitch Ninja Warrior competition.
But yes, there's some reality TV I'll get behind.
That's something I could actually
mean?
watch. I'm not gonna, because like, you know, people are gonna eat shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that. I want that.
Now, honestly,
we've rotated this and we're all for it now. Okay,
in Airsoft Battle Royale, give everyone a go, like 2 GoPros.
Yeah, just like Mr. Beast did with Apex.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would be cool too, for sure.
Yeah, that's
Twitch
a fantastic
Wipeout.
idea. Yeah, let's see how good Shroud is when he's not got a mouse and keyboard. Oh, well,
Watch, he's actually sick. Watch, he's actually nuts.
Yeah, watch him
like,
just be like,
this corner
"You
real
have no
quick."
idea. The only reason I'm good at video games because I'm actually good at shooting guns. It's like, I just have amazing aim at everything in life. I would like to see something like we've seen a lot of celebrities and like athletes and various people playing games with top streamers. Like during quarantine, the biggest one that comes to mind for me is when Tim the Tapman played Warzone with Zeke Elliott from the Cowboys. I would love to see them do the other side of that. Like, take Tim the Tapman, throw him on a football field with like 3 or 4 pros and be like, all right, cool, learn how to play football.
Yeah.
Like, also, we're gonna tackle you.
Yeah. Also, I'm going to hit you really hard. Be prepared. But like, think about taking people out of their element to put them with people who are the best at whatever that is, and them trying to figure out how to compete with that person. People would love to watch that. It'd be so interesting.
Yeah. Exactly. You know, and that's the point. You could actually make it a competition. They come and compete at the streamer's chosen game, and then they go and they do games. You know, some sort of game type. So if it's American football, they have to fling the ball through X amount or whatever. You know, and it's a point. You know, across the board.
Do like challenges.
Like
they have to throw it so far. They have to be this accurate. And then you take that professional athlete and say, great, now be that accurate in a video game. And then they have to, like, because we've seen that with the Twitch rivals before, with T-Pain and somebody else. They made 2 separate teams, and that's where we learned T-Pain is really good at Siege. Like, think about how that stuff would translate. You would get both audiences kind of like together. And I think that would be a better growth and more positive growth than Twitch dating.
I totally agree. Because what I was going to say is this: as they bring it in at the moment, what they're really saying is we want to bring a whole bunch of new people in, and the integration there. You're literally creating 2 different communities in one. A community's meant to be one big thing. You know what I mean? So there needs to be more of a way of making it where the crossover is going to be far more likely to happen, because otherwise you're literally creating another community parallel to the one that you've been building all this time, and all that ends up creating sooner or later. You have it happens all the time. We talk about it with casual and pro players in certain games. They clash. It's going to happen. They want different things from the platform. They have different desires. They get different. You know what I mean? When there needs to be more of a crossover. If they're bringing this in, there needs to find a way where it is more appealing to the people who are already their community, who are already their customers, who are already their employees. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think what we learned from this is that Twitch just needs to hire us and drop the team that's working on this, because it sounds like a unanimous decision to not have dating shows on Twitch.
Look,
Susie made a really good point, by the way.
She
said
enough people here to do it all.
Let's just run Twitch. Just the 4 of us. Susie said Twitch dating is just going to add to the toxic environment that women already have to deal with, which I didn't even think about. But like, that is just like, that's some real shit. Like, I didn't think about that. I'm sure Twitch hasn't considered it in the slightest. And I just feel bad for the future of any content creator who, you know, has to deal with what could happen there, because it could be really bad. Like, you're just, dating shows only attract people that are toxic. You know what I mean? Like, it's only going to bring a community of people that aren't really there for positivity necessarily. And so when you add into that, you know, women on Twitch already having to deal with so much, I don't know. I just, that scares me personally. Like, I wouldn't want anything to do with that if I was Twitch. Didn't even think about it like that. So props to you, Susie.
Yeah, it's a really good point.
Yeah, absolutely. Susie says you're literally making it a come get me environment when you throw dating. Yep.
Yeah, if there's one, I know I've said it myself. I've said it myself to people, and I know, women content creators have to say it all the time. Twitch is not a dating site, and then you're going to put dating shows on the not dating site. Right. Yeah.
It can only go bad. So, but yeah, man, I don't know. I just hope that they do it the right way, which they probably won't, because they'll probably never watch this. So next topic we have is Dr. Lupo being an amazing role model for everyone on Twitch. I think everybody has seen this already, and if you haven't, I'll post the article in the chat for you guys, and then you can also check the link out in the article that takes you to the clip on Twitter of what he has to say. As content creators, it can feel like you don't want to come out and say anything, you know, that could be controversial or anything, because 1, you don't want people to disagree with you, and 2, a lot of people just want to have a space that people can come and hang out and, you know, be positive with each other, as opposed to discussing heavy topics like what's going on currently. But Dr. Lupo came out and just said it as blatant and as real as he could, and he did great, and it's opened up basically the floodgates for, you know, content creators like us to really feel comfortable with expressing ourselves about these kind of situations. So I just wanted to know what you guys had to say about that and about the situation going on altogether. We'll start with Sadomi.
So if any content creator has a problem with voicing their opinion to their audience, especially on a topic where this isn't about politics at this point. This is about something bigger. This is about the right to live, the right to not be afraid of living in my own skin. So to me, if someone is afraid of speaking out against it because of an arbitrary flipping number, then delete your channel. You have no right to be on any content creation space, and you're just doing more of a disservice than you think by actively saying, because silence is actively saying that you care more about potential internet clout than my life.
Right.
So personally, from me, bye-bye.
Right. Totally agree. And people might not even think about it like that when they do think to themselves, I'm not even going to bring it up. You know what I mean? But after thinking about it a certain amount of time, you have to understand that like silence is, my drill sergeant when I was in the Army always would say silence is compliance. If you're staying silent, you're agreeing with what's going on. You have to speak up, and you have to express yourself, or else you're just agreeing with everything that's going on around you, because nobody knows what you're thinking. And so if you're just staying silent, then that must mean that you agree. And that might not be the case, but at a certain point, you just need to step it up, and you just need to say something. As content creators, we have a lot of people that look up to us. And we're role models for other content creators. And so Dr. Lupo doing this is absolutely amazing. And like you were just saying, like he doesn't care about whatever this brings to him. He just feels he needs to say this, and it was awesome. And so I totally agree with what you're saying there, Sadomi. Do you have anything else on this one?
Sadomi? I'll let everyone else have the floor.
All right, cool. Yeah. MPI?
I mean, Sadomi, I agree with you, man. Like I think there are certain things that if you don't want that to be like talked about in your channel, or you don't want to focus on that, that's fine. Like I am not a big fan of politics. I think that it's 99% just arguing with a brick wall whenever you're arguing it at this point, unfortunately. So I think, like, for me personally, like in my Discord and my chat, we don't have a lot of political discussions. This is a safe place to get away from, the bull crap of everyday life. But like you said, this is different. This isn't I'm voting for X or Y, or I don't agree with, this tax law or whatever. This is about people in their own skin being afraid to just exist. So if you don't want to talk about it all day, every day, that's fine. Like, you don't have to, if you are a streamer and you play video games or whatever else, that this isn't us saying stop doing that and make your channel all about what's going on right now. That's not what this is. But if you have something to say about it, use your platform to say it. And if someone doesn't come back to your stream because of that, you have lost nothing. That person,
fuck them.
Yeah, they're in the wrong place to begin with. And again, if you don't want to talk about it all the time, it's fine. But if you have something to say it, tweet it, Instagram it, put it on YouTube, whatever you want. But you have a platform, whether you have 1 viewer or 1 million viewers, it doesn't matter. You are on a platform and you have an audience to speak to. Do it.
Absolutely. Dogg?
I think you've all hit a lot of the notes that I was going to say as well. To touch on exactly what MPI was saying, and Sadomi, if you're more worried that people are going to stop watching you, stop following you, what have you, then you are worried about innocent people dying. Like, you don't realize what that says about you. You're really oblivious to what that says about you. Your little bit of good feeling from that little dopamine hit is more important than someone's right to live. You know, it's ridiculous. And I get that people don't want. Again, people might not want to talk about this all the time, but this transcends things. Like either you believe people should be able to be free to live free, or you don't. What is it? Make your choice, right? Because this is the point. This is what we're talking about here. It's. I'm trying not to, what do you call it? I realize what the show is about, and it's right that we should talk about this. But I'm trying not to, because look, I live in Scotland. It's a different world in comparison. It really is. Not that we don't have issues, no, because we do. We have issues. But it makes me so angry to see. I feel so helpless, I feel so helpless, and I see all of you over there, and you're all, and this is such a stressful situation, And I seen, I'm going to get his name wrong, Trevor. I think he took over for John Oliver.
Trevor Noah, yeah.
Trevor Noah, yeah. I seen Trevor Noah talking about dominoes, and the domino effect of this, and this is what people need to be aware of. This COVID has created a situation that we haven't experienced before. It's created stress. This whole George Floyd situation, we've seen this before too many times, But this is a domino thing, and it's getting, and it's and things are getting and tumbling and tumbling and tumbling, and that's why it needs addressed. You can't ignore this. Changes are coming and are actually happening in your country, and you have to be aware of it. You can't just do this, because it affects everybody. It doesn't matter. It affects every single individual, and you need to be aware of it, because either you're present and you're part of society, or like what are you doing? You're just getting all the benefits of society, and you don't put in. Do you know what I mean? You don't put in your part that we all put in. We all agree to in the societal contract that we have. This is more than that. This is human life. This is the very essence of why we're here. We're only here to live, and some people don't get to do it, and some people have it taken away from them, and some people don't get to do it in the way that everybody should, And if that doesn't anger you, look inward, because honestly, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. These are my fellow human beings. I wish no harm on you. I love you all. Do you know what I mean? I want you all to be successful. Do you know what I mean? That's the attitude we should have. That's what we should be putting out into the world. Because if we did that, we'd have a great time. Do you know what I mean? And that's where, look beyond the borders, look beyond the divisions. See a human being with dreams and wants and desires and needs and dependence, and see that. Don't see anything, but see the don't see the differences. See the similarities. We have a phrase in Scotland: we're all Jock Tamson's bairns, and it means it doesn't matter where you come from. Jock Tamson, it's an old name, right? And bairns means kids, right? So we're all Jock Tamson's kids, and what it means is it's that we're all in this together. That's it. This whole thing, it doesn't matter. We're all in it together, and the people that you might not know, they're the people that are packaging the goods that you eat, that look after the animals that you get your milk from, and you get your eggs and you get your meat from. They're the people that direct the traffic. They're the people that lay the roads. That's the point. They're human beings, and they all count, and they all count in your life, whether you know them or not. I'll stop. I'm ranting.
No, I mean, it's all really, really necessary stuff for people to hear. And like I was saying, as a content creator, like if you have these thoughts, like you should express them, just like you were saying. Like we kind of do have a duty to let these people know how we feel, just so that they can also feel like they can express themselves too, because we've all grown up thinking we should just keep our thoughts to ourselves, and things have changed so much, and people are starting to open up a lot more about a lot of things, and it's just everything has changed so much since like I was a kid. Like when I was a kid, like I was saying, like you have your views, you shut up, you keep them to yourself. The media will talk about it. Whatever happens is happening, and that sucks, but that's the way that it is. You know what I mean? But now everybody everybody's trying to be like an activist, and everybody wants to speak up and raise awareness about these issues that are crucial. And like you've all been saying, more than just politics. It's someone's right to live, and everybody has that. And well, everybody should have that, is what is the better way to put that. And it's just such a serious thing, and I'm really glad that people are talking about it on Twitch. I'm glad that you guys are all talking about it. I'm glad Dr. Lupo said this, because if Dr. Lupo says anything, people are going to rally behind it, and people notice him, and he's the perfect person to highlight during all this, as far as content creators, being able to speak to their audiences. And so I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. I don't know if anybody else has anything that they wanted to throw in or say.
I'll say this. If you are a content creator and you don't have a very specific, unpersonalized niche, such as you only do tech reviews, if you're losing a lot of people who are like, yeah, I didn't know you were like this, I didn't know you were like for this or against this, either side, if you're a all lives matter person, you're a Black Lives Matter person, or if you just are completely like, I just don't care, I want to sit in my bubble, whoever you are about that, if you are losing people because of that, then you were not being genuine from the start. Like, everyone knew the minute I don't even have to say anything. The minute I woke up this morning, everyone knows where I stand. Yep. Everyone knows where I stand. Okay. And as a creator, especially the creators who preach, I just want to have I'm a variety streamer, wants to have a nice positive community. If they don't know where you stand the minute you press go live, or the minute you send a single tweet out every single time, then you are not doing your part as a creator at that point.
Yeah.
I think too, like, you're not really creating a positive community at that point. You're creating a walled off feel good community at that point.
Yeah.
Right. Blind positivity isn't real positivity.
It's a secret garden.
Yeah. There's a difference in going to someone's chat and knowing they are for, whatever it is that you also believe in, for like, I will not and have always been very open about mental health and about accepting people for their sexuality, about, whatever it is, whoever you are welcome there. And if that has never been outright said, I don't feel fully comfortable going somewhere like that and saying I am 100% accepted for X whatever reason. It's, sure, I can go here and we might have a fun, good time and laugh, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to go to this channel and be prepared to say, hey guys, I'm having a really bad depression today. I need help. That is just, I'm going to go there to laugh and try to forget about things, not actually go somewhere to feel accepted or like what we're doing makes a fucking difference.
Right.
Yeah. And I agree. That's what you're saying. If exactly right, people know where I stand. You come in my channel, you go to write, you see the chat rules, so you know where I stand. Do you know what I mean? And if you don't have those kind of things already in your chat rules, first off, why not? And secondly, what do you expect? How do you expect people to know where you stand? Do you know what I mean? If you don't have, some standard, none of this, and this, the usual isms in your chat, you're basically saying, I accept those things. Do you know what I mean? So you're going to get viewers that think you accept those things. So if you do eventually say, by the way, I don't accept those things, you're going to lose viewers because you've not been honest. You've not been honest from the start. Do you know what I mean? So that in itself, and again, to echo what you're saying, if you put a tweet out and you lose followers, which I did, I lost 2 followers almost instantly when I tweeted. Good riddance. You see the job.
Those are people that you don't need.
Through you, you're a turd. I nearly stood in you. Do you know what I mean? Like, no, thanks. You saved me that worry. So yeah, look at it like a cleansing. Cleanse your timeline.
And if that is like, and if that's such a worry for you too, like, you're probably going to and can possibly gain people from that too. Like, if that's your only concern, but like, you have a thought, you're like, man, I got to get this out there, but I'm really worried people are going to unfollow me. You're probably going to find people that agree with you. Yeah, it's the internet. There's a million people that could find that and say, oh, Sadomi just tweeted and, said, Black Lives Matter. I really stand with what's happening. I'm like, never heard of this guy before, but I just saw it get retweeted by somebody. I'm going to check him out. And through that, you're going to start curating a better community.
Right.
You're going to find those people who fit with you and fit with your other community members and mesh together. And the people who are leaving never fit in the first place.
Yep. Yep.
That being said, with you saying, like people will follow you, I don't want people to use this as a way to grow.
Do not,
no. Right. And I know it's not what you're saying at all.
Don't let that stop you. Right,
exactly. But at the same time, you do need to be cautious about how you do talk about these things and how you do try to, rally people, for positive change. I saw somebody on Twitter, I'm not going to say names or anything, but they tweeted something along the lines of, if you're pro BLM and you think that there needs to be a change, comment on this tweet so I can surround myself with like-minded people. And I was like, that is 100% just a way to get your numbers up. And you're using chaos, you're using, this horrible thing going on for your own gain, I guess. It's not even really, it's just a few Twitter numbers that you're going to get out of it. And, what if it does blow up? Like, you're just using turmoil. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I want to make sure that people understand that we do think that you need to say something, but you should also be very careful and very, what am I trying to say? Cautious, I guess, with how you say it, just because you want it to be genuine, you want it to be something that actually promotes change and positivity. And if it's about that, it shouldn't be about yourself at all. It shouldn't be about comment here or like this or retweet this or anything like that. Ashley Christ actually changed her entire Twitter to just be, pro BLM, pro change and everything like that, which is amazing because she's an amazing content creator. She has a crazy following behind her, and people know her for Twitch and YouTube, but she's doing this thing. She's changing everything over to, push change and positivity, which is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, I don't know. I just really don't want people to use this for their own personal gain at all. And I just I had to throw that one in there because I unfollowed that person instantly. Like, no hesitation at all.
Yeah.
I will unfollow you. I will stop talking to you. Like, if that's how you're going to handle this situation, I don't need you around.
Yeah.
I think
and to put in perspective how... Go ahead, MPI.
I think it's also really obvious when that's what someone's doing.
Yep, absolutely.
Like you said, they were like, if you support Black Lives Matter, tweet here. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Like, nothing. I can support it and not tweet here.
Yeah. Say, if you're going to say something, say something. Don't just put words there.
Go ahead, and so for me, oh no, you're fine. Like I said, you're good. So for me, what really stood up about Ashley's movement herself is that her business, her livelihood, is based off of her social media, off of getting traffic to her services that she provides. So she is sacrificing her livelihood and possible impression she can get during like this time to support the Black Lives Matter movement, which a lot of people, if you put down a paper like, hey, yeah, so don't go to work for 2 weeks. Don't get paid for 2 weeks to support the movement. A lot of people won't do it. A lot of people won't do it. And unfortunately, a lot of people physically cannot do it because then they'll starve. Literally, that's the problem of America. One reason why people are angry right now. So to do that, I think, is a huge gesture that a lot of people may not understand who aren't in the world of understanding the point of social media for business.
Right.
Yeah, that's a very, very good point. I don't know if anybody else has anything on this topic. No? Okay. So yeah, that's something that we had to discuss. I mean, if you think that we shouldn't be discussing that, you can leave the podcast right now. You don't need to be listening. There's really no, like we've all been saying, like, it's so necessary to get the point across that everybody has the right to just live. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm getting a little heated right
Yeah.
now. I'm sorry. It's a very emotional topic, and it's not something that I normally do on this podcast. You know what I mean? It's not. I don't talk about global issues or anything like that in this podcast, just because that's not what you guys come here for. But this is so much more than that, especially as content creators. And I think we do have a lot of content creators that watch this show that might need to hear this kind of stuff. So I hope we can help people out with this. And yeah, good discussion with that, guys. I really appreciate you all, putting yourselves out there and everything.
Yeah, and I think like right now is the biggest time to use that platform because there are multiple things happening that. Okay, I'm going to try to think of how to phrase this exactly. So there are multiple things happening in the world and in this month that people are you're on very different sides of it. You're either for it or you're against it. And with Black Lives Matter, obviously, we've had COVID, which is it's not gone away, guys. By the way, it's still here. And then today's June 1st is going to be Pride Month, and obviously 2 of those things are very touchy subjects. So in my opinion, any of those things that you have your thoughts on, there's never been a time that you need to do that more than now.
Absolutely.
Like I really want to like hammer that point home of use what you have and use it for good. Right.
And people will really, really respect you for opening up about your point of view on certain things, as long as you're not being a piece of shit about it. You know what I mean? Speaking up and letting people know what you're feeling about things it can go so much farther than what's going on now. It could go with anything going on in your life. I know I put some things on Twitter within the last couple months that were really, really difficult, and I felt like even these personal matters were taboo to talk about. But it really shows who you are as a person when you talk about these things, because you're putting it into your own words every time that you tweet it. So you put your own little thing on it, and people can really see more of who you are by talking about these things that are more taboo to speak about. And so I definitely suggest that if you are a content creator, whether you have a large following or no following, you should definitely talk about your stance on these things. It'll open it up to making everything easier to discuss with your community later on, which is something that every content creator, as long as they're looking for a real community of people, of like-minded people that, want to feel accepted and just want to be together, I think it's important. I think it's very important.
And to add on to that, so my personal philosophy is that everyone has a different perspective in life. Everyone's had different experiences. Everyone has different upbringings. Everyone has different everything in life. Like, I will never live the life of any of these other 3 men here. All of these 3 men here will never live the same life as any other 3 men here. No one. It's impossible. No way. So that in mind, you can never really think in black and white terms like this person is wrong, this person is right. Because in every person's personal story, they're the protagonist. And very few people, like extremely few people, do things that are evil just for the sake of doing evil things. Majority of people, I'd say even 99% of people, do things that they think are right, are correct. And they try to do good. That's just how humans are. We naturally tend to do good, but everyone's definition of good is different.
Right.
So when it comes to talking about subjects, be open to actual discussion, to understanding their perspective. Like, for instance, someone told me that I should not be here in this country. That is literally their perspective, and that is fine for them to have. It makes sense from whatever their perspective is. So understanding that and being open to discussion and not being afraid about being wrong is key. Allow people to explain to you why they think a certain way and try to see it from their perspective. And then it's not your job to change their perspective. It's your job to inform them about yours and let them make their own decision on it.
Can I just touch on that? Because that was, I completely agree. And a big issue in the world today is that people are scared to be wrong. And the reason they're scared to be wrong is they have beliefs. right? Instead of having what we all should have, which is ideas. I have an idea that things go like this. Do you know what I mean? Because an idea can change. It can be changed. You can change it yourself quite easily, you know. But a belief is something that you're saying is something that is absolutely core to your understanding of the world, you know. And we have this idea now. That's my beliefs, and so when someone says that they disagree with your beliefs, they are actually in your mind personally attacking you, you know, because your beliefs. These are part of who I am. You have an idea about how things are, then that's an idea. They're attacking an idea. That's it. You know what I mean? That's the thing. A whole lot of people, unfortunately, you know, the vast majority of the world is overly precious about their beliefs, you know, and challenging them on that is they take it as an actual attack on their character, on who they are, and it's not. It's not, because it's just their ideas. It's not you as a person, you as an individual or a human being. It's your ideas that I disagree with. Do you know what I mean? And I think we need to get away from this idea that when someone disagrees with you, they don't like you, they might hate you, they would wish you harm, any of these things, because it seems to be that a lot of people feel that that's the case. You know, that I had an argument with that person, I can never have anything to do with that person anymore, you know? Whereas, you know, we can have disagreements. We can have disagreements about something. Is that going to stop me talking to Sadomi? No, Sadomi's a cool guy. Do you know what I mean? You know, he's a Liverpool fan. It's not his fault. His idea's wrong, that's all.
Oh, gosh.
Well,
Wow.
Sorry, to bring that in. But you know, we need to get away from this thought that disagreeing with someone means I hate you. You can never be. We can never this. We can never agree. We're instantly the opposites. We're polar. We're the each end. You know. You know, life is about give and take and ebb and flow, and you know, and that's what ideas, having the idea rather. Anyway, sorry.
I love that reference.
Anybody else got anything on this topic? No. Okay. So I'm trying to get Crazy Eyes in here. I feel like now's a good time to break the, you know, to switch it back to a little bit more. I don't want to say upbeat, but a little bit more to the stuff that we normally get to. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm just waiting on him to come in here. But yeah, I definitely implore all of you in here. You know, even if you're not a content creator, you should still be talking about these issues. All right, so I'm gonna add Crazy Eyes real quick, and this could get absolutely weird, and it probably will. MPI, let me know when you're ready.
Go ahead.
All right.
Hello? Oh, it sort of worked.
Dude, I don't know what your mic is doing. I can't.
He's a robot.
Oh.
Bye, robot.
And there you have it. Crazy Eyes, ladies and gents. Okay, so that. All right. That was interesting. Really good question from Crazy Eyes as always.
I always enjoy his cameos. They're wonderful.
I just don't even. The chicken wing dude, like. Oh, is he?
Oh.
Is he coming back?
Wait.
Dude, your mic.
Feed that hamster so the internet goes faster.
Feed that hamster. Stop downloading illegal games.
Right?
Nah, he's uploading memes, isn't it? He's uploading dank memes.
Yeah, the dank memes taking up all his bandwidth. So what we're gonna do is that. Oh my god, Oh my god. Oh my god. It better work this time.
That's better.
That's
There we
so
go.
much
Yes,
better.
that does
Thank
work.
you.
Hey, cell phones.
Okay. Well, good. I wanted to ask you a question about. I want to talk about reality shows, stuff, reality television, and first of all, what do you guys think about BuzzFeed?
No.
Okay,
It is what it is.
got it. Now, this is probably common knowledge for a lot of people, but maybe we forget about it. But they use their garbage, clickbait, bullshit, awful, terrible garbage. Pulitzer Prize winning journalism that they use. So if we can use moms that drink wine while watching The Price is Right to fund video games and other projects that Twitch wants us to do, I'm fine with bringing in garbage reality television. Just Chatting is like 4th right now on Browse, and so it's obviously a pretty big, and that's shit. That's just trash. So I mean,
Dude, what are you talking about?
I don't. Am I not? Is that not? Was I not clear? BuzzFeed uses their clickbait trash to fund their actual journalism. Twitch can use moms who drink wine in the morning to fund the actual stuff that we like on Twitch, like video games and yelling at other people who play video games.
Yeah, but we get tainted by association, don't we? I mean, that's the other thing, Like, BuzzFeed is known for being BuzzFeed primarily. Yes, you're right. They do pure lots of,
Right.
journalism from time to time. But what's the common idea of what BuzzFeed is? Trash.
I didn't know they did anything except for like trashy clickbait titles. Like I didn't know there were other things that happened on that website anymore.
Yeah.
And-
So I think
and, like,
BuzzFeed's
weird
like the shit
quizzes.
version of it.
Okay, so maybe my point wasn't as good.
But I think I get what you're saying. Is, like,
Yeah,
we could-
no shit.
I get what you're saying though. Like if they could bring in these people who are gonna watch this garbage reality TV and serve them ads and possibly get them to pay for that content, they can take that money and put it back into actually good things on the website.
You okay, Velokk?
I mean, I'm just
good.
going to say something, right? There's a whole bunch of kids are not going to be happy about this because if the mums get involved, those Twitch primes ain't going to the kids anymore,
Immediately,
Like-
Twitch has become the lamest thing in the room when their moms are watching.
I had to Twitch Prime to aerobics with Jalad. He's not wearing a shirt out in front of a mountain today, and he said my name. So, sweetie, sorry. So, look, I'm for anything that can make the platform that makes me money more money. Okay, so if you don't want people to sub to reality television, just sub to Velokk. I don't know.
Yeah, as long as that money makes its way to me at some point.
Yeah,
Right.
so if you don't want to sub to reality television and somehow you don't want to sub to me, sub to MPI
Yeah. And if you don't want to sub to me, then you can go sub to
for
Sadomi.
whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
why you wouldn't want to sub to any of those first three things, but
And then nobody ever subbed to Dogg.
yeah.
Okay.
Picking on half the people with no hair here. I see.
Yeah, yeah, I see what it is. It's baldest.
That's hair leadism. That's what that is.
Yeah.
A great discussion brought by Crazy Eyes,
Okay.
as always.
It's all right. Reiterate.
Jesus Christ.
Just out of nowhere.
The
Dude,
worst
the
part is I don't
fact
know
that...
if he just accidentally did it this time.
Oh,
Because
there's no way.
everything
He's,
was
No, that was so
broken
he
and
knows
deliberate.
exactly what he's doing. I love how he stumbles over his own sentences. It makes me, because I know he's doing it on purpose, and it makes me laugh so much. It's always a treat. It's always a treat having him call in, even if it does nothing for the show at all. It just makes me happy. All right, so sorry, I gotta collect myself. All right, so wow, I'm just reading here. Next topic we have is this article is titled "It's a Little Hard to Find Community on Twitch," and basically this person that works for The Verge, I guess, streams on Twitch but has a hard time feeling like there's a community there. I'm just gonna let you guys take this because I feel like we're all gonna have relatively the same idea as to the title of this article.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. The title, as usual, it's done the usual thing. When you actually read the article itself, they talk about more about the lack of ability to link with people. You know, they're really talking about the idea of it lacks what we've been speaking about. You know, that being able to discoverability and all the things that are linked around that. And they're right. You know, you can tell that this is someone that's coming in from a social media background can't understand why those simple standard social media mechanisms aren't actually in place on Twitch, or if they are, they're just as a sort of, you know, they're also, you know, like they talk specifically about the friend feature, which there should be more. That it should be more. There should be more to it. That should be something. Making friends and having friends on Twitch. You know, it's another social media platform, whether people like it or not. You know, it is a streaming platform, but it's also a social media platform. And so, yeah, they make some good points, but the headline's just awful. Headline is just
and
rubbish.
At the end of it, they do discuss how like it is difficult, and like I get what they're saying. It is difficult to find like to really grow a community on Twitch, but that's kind of what makes Twitch awesome. You know what I mean? As a content creator, because you can tell who's really working towards it. You know what I mean? Like if everybody wants to be discovered more, and I totally agree with that. But as far as like finding your own community as a content creator, I think it should be a little bit more difficult because you should want to put that effort in, and it definitely requires that time so that you can get a community of people that are there for you as opposed to anything else. Because as content creators, we all want just people to hang out with and talk to, no matter what game we're playing. Like if I could go live tomorrow and have like relatively the same numbers and play Civ, even though Valorant's coming out, so I'll definitely be playing Valorant instead of Civ. But if I could do a chill stream one day on Civ and know for a fact that I'm going to have relatively the same viewership, relatively the same chat interaction, then I probably would. But I know that I'm not going to get that, so I'm not going to stream Civilization on Twitch. And part of that is because of me as a content creator. I've never done that, so it'd be a little bit more difficult. But I think everybody wants something like that, and it takes time to grow your community, and it's cool to see the people that are putting in the work to do it. You know what I mean? It shows how serious they take it. Sadomi?
Yeah, so finding community on Twitch, I've noticed, so let's take it from a viewer's perspective. Someone who doesn't stream, someone who just watches streams, just goes through. When you go through different streams, it's hard to figure out what you want from a stream directly. Like, you can never really verbalize it or write it down, at least in my personal experience. So whenever someone's trying to find a group of people together to hang out with, or to like do stuff, you find a stream that's probably playing a game you like, you go in the chat, you see how the streamer vibes with you see how you vibe with other people in chat. But when it comes to other like social media platforms, this is way more directly interactive. This is all 100% live chat. This is just this is live chat rooms with a TV in the background. That's what Twitch is. So when people try to find community, as they say, I say the community generally tends to find you. Like, you go out looking for it, but you never find it. It always kind of tends to be the one that you just stick to the most. Like, I've never went looking for something and found it. I've always been looking for something else, and then I find something even greater going elsewhere.
That's a good way to put it.
And I agree with that, but again, that's actually the point, though, isn't it? Because it's hard to find that, you know. Yeah, we've got game category, but like, you know, the way someone presents one League of Legends stream is completely different from the next person down the line. Do you know what I mean? And so if you're into League of Legends, yeah, that might be the game, and you maybe try to get into community around that. But like, you've got to just go through League of Legends streamers until you find one that you're actually, you know, there needs to be more. We're beating a dead horse here. We've spoken about this.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I'm trying not to go into all the usual stuff.
Right.
But I think they're making fair points, but you know, they're definitely coming at it. The article, they're definitely coming at it from someone who is so new to streaming, you know? And not just streaming as a streamer, but as a viewer. You know, you can tell, which I actually think is very interesting, because once you're in streaming, you get your ideas, and you know that shapes your experience and that shapes your ideas. But like from people coming outside, these are it's new people that need attracted all the time, you know. And so seeing what this perspective is from someone coming in without that real background knowledge and example, to me, we should be looking at that more, you know, finding a way of addressing these things that make it more, you know, when people are new coming in, that make discoverability easier, all these things, you know. But again, I'm not going to go down the line of what we need. We've done that. Like,
MPI.
Yeah, I mean, like Dogg said, I think we've kind of, you know, really tackled this a lot, because there is like no discoverability on Twitch. The online friends thing that I see right now, and what do I do with this? Why do I have this? It does nothing for me.
Right.
So I can see, like, you know, first coming in and saying this is hard. Like I don't know how to make a community on this, because there's nothing that lets me do it other than my one stream. And that's where we kind of get to, you know, well, man, now you got, like, we have to go through Twitter, we have to go through Discord, we have to go through multiple other avenues to build a community that all comes together in one place. Why is all of that community not in one place for everything? So I can see where, you know, starting streaming and not really understanding the site yet, or how everything kind of works, being confused and saying, how do you even begin to do this? Where do you find people? How do people find me? What do I do? I can see that.
I think it's quite obvious that what this shows is that the platform hasn't grown to cater to the changing needs of Twitch. Do you know? Like back when Soda Pop and all that kind of started, all you had to do was stream on Twitch. That was it. You just streamed as much as you could, and people turned up, and you built your audience, and that was it. That's not what streaming is anymore. You know, there's a handful of people that can do that can just stream on Twitch and create a community and become partner and all that. But in order to do that, they have to be one of just a very niche few things. First off, they either need to be famous beforehand through another field or whatever, or they have to be incredible at the game that they're playing, like incredible. Right. So these are the niche of the people. Everybody else has got a completely different experience, but Twitch hasn't grown to cater to those needs. You know, and that's where it's way behind. It's way behind on itself. That's why this is one of the reasons that Mixer is so popular. Mixer, you know, we're able to look at, this is what Twitch is, this is how it is, and we're able to put their platform out knowing these are the things that are needed. This is how streaming is, and it's far more streamer friendly. That's one of the things I always hear from people that stream on Twitch, on Mixer, is that it's more about the streamer. There's more streamer tools, and it's streamer friendly. You know, Twitch isn't that. You know, it's way back, and it needs to adapt to cater to the needs of streamers now. You know, and that's what we've been talking about with discoverability.
Yeah, totally agree. Okay, so we got a question from Dread that I want to get to. He says, with streaming, do you think it is a good idea to just upload streams edited to other platforms? We've talked about this one a lot. We talked about, you know, what you should do with your streams on other platforms. I'll let Sadomi take this one real quick if you want.
Yeah. If you guys don't know my manner of thinking, it's the why manner of thinking. So why do you want to upload those videos to another platform? Why? So people to come to your channel. Okay. So how do you get people to come to your channel? One, create something interesting that catches their attention. That's like, oh, that was cool. That checked whatever boxes I was trying to tick. Where can I find more of that? And then send them that way. So I'd say I don't like giving tactical advice because I don't do it, so I can't tell you what to do. But I will say, just try it, see if it works. If it doesn't work, try something else. Try editing them down more. Try doing Twitter clips of them. Try doing TikTok clips of them. Try doing whatever cool parts you want to do. Because most people, I think, will also not really watch a live stream of someone random for 2 hours. Because my time's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
only got like 50 more years left, max. I maximize that. So, keep it short.
Yeah, I would say that like you should, for a start, you should be putting your other content onto other platforms. If you're serious about being a streamer, you should be doing that. It's it's multifaceted, absolutely. But I would agree with what Sadomi, and just to build on it, I wouldn't go even editing down full streams. Look, 10 minutes is the average length of a YouTube video, especially a gaming video, right? But those 10-minute videos, you watch them of the big streamers, right? If you don't know a streamer or a YouTube content creator, the chances are you're not going to sit down and watch 10-minute videos all the time, right? If for example, if someone that a friend that you know or that you play with or something edits a video and puts it up, if it's a 3, 4, 5-minute video, you're going to watch it all. If it's a 10-minute video, there's a good chance you're going to watch some of it and not all of it. That's let's not beat about the bush, right?
Right.
So you've got to look at these things in the lead up to yourself. So people ain't going to watch a 10-minute video. So it's a waste of your time putting a 10-minute video together. That means that you should be looking at 3, 4-minute videos at max, shorter content that grabs, content that gets people actually looking for more content, because that's what you're trying to do. Like Sadomi said, why are you doing it? Because you want them to come to your Twitch channel. Well, give them something that's a little bait. Give them the little taster, the little nibble, that great clip, whatever it is, whether it's funny, whatever it is, poignant, whether it's a fantastic play in a game, give them that. Get them the little tidbits, because that's more likely to be watched 30, 40 seconds, a minute long. I'll watch that while I'm doing whatever. Oh, that was cool. Where can I see more of that? So definitely be putting your content up. But don't be thinking people are going to come and sit and watch War and Peace. Do you know what I mean? Like, they ain't going to do that. If they were going to do that, they'd be into your stream anyway. That's where your long-term content comes from. So, yeah.
There you go. MPI, you got anything on this?
Definitely edit them down. Even so, like, something that I've started doing is I do an indie showcase where I'll play 3 indie games for 1 hour apiece. From the very beginning, like I just blindly jump into it, and I am going to upload each hour segment as first hour of X game. Just like whenever like a new game comes out, you see first 25 minutes of gameplay for The Last of Us or whatever. If there is something like that there's a reason for it to be that long, go for it and see what happens. If it doesn't work, reevaluate. But don't just take your average, let's say you play Warzone for 4 hours. Don't just throw a 4-hour Warzone stream up. No one's going to care about that. No one's even going to click on it because they're just going to go, what even is this? The only person that I've seen do that successfully is a huge streamer already. He puts his full streams up on YouTube the next day as in case you missed it and for some reason want to watch a whole 5-hour stream not live, you can. Other than that, definitely break them down. I'm fine with a little bit longer form videos, especially if you're making something like a tutorial. Make that, 15, 20 minutes if it needs to be. But don't do a 30 minutes of part of the stream, cut it up 30 minutes for the next 30 minutes and like cut it into small segments, because that's the same thing as just making one giant long one. What's the point? What would be better is like to take it and cut down to the best parts of that stream for 10, 15 minutes. Whether it's, if you're very, very talented at your game, make it the best plays. If you're more comedy focused, focus on the parts that were hilarious. And then take the time to actually edit these videos. Don't just cut, upload.
Right.
Put in some effects. If it's going to be a comedy video, throw some memes in there if you want to.
Yeah.
Do something that is more than just here's 15 minutes of my stream with the front and back cut off, because that's not exciting to watch. There's a lot of stuff that's out of context then, and it's just not exciting. So if I'm not having fun watching this pre-recorded video where you can take it and make it the literal best that you ever could, why would I come watch you live, kind of thing. Think about it that way, of how is this going to make people want to come watch my stream?
Right. The way I like to think about it is, and I think a lot of people don't really make this they don't really understand this until it gets told to them, is that you don't have to be at the top of, like, you don't have to be at your peak of entertainment while you're live on stream the whole time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because everybody has ebbs and flows, everybody has dips, but when it comes to YouTube, that's got to be A1 content. It has to be perfect. It has to be entertaining the whole time, because that's recorded, polished content. It's the same thing as, like, if somebody sends you a picture on Snapchat, like, it's not going to be the best quality picture. You know what I mean? It's not going to be in the best angle, the best lighting, anything like that. But if you see the same thing on Instagram, like, you're not going to be okay with that low quality picture on Instagram, because Instagram is a place where you put your polished content. That's where things go that, like, you're trying to draw attention. So think of Twitch as like Snapchat and YouTube as like Instagram. You really need to step up your game on YouTube to really get people's attention, because the live content pre-recorded or recorded and put on YouTube is not going to do you any favors at all. People aren't going to enjoy that, because there's no reason to watch live content when it's not live anymore.
Right.
But good question, Dread. I hope we were able to help you out with that. We got another question from Woody7. He says, I streamcast onto an esports channel using their login info. It's really annoying with the two-factor authentication. I also use Streamlabs to do my streaming. What is the best avenue so I'm not constantly having to bug for a code and still give me the options to throw ads up, etc.? I honestly think that if you have somebody that works for the esports channel to do that for you, like that kind of stuff, so you don't have to constantly, try to find someone that can help you out, I think that might be the best. But there's not really too much you can do that I can think of, really, to be honest. I don't know if anybody has any advice on this one.
I think
I just ask for more direct permissions to, like, have more control, so you can just do it.
Right.
Because you don't want to keep doing that. Let's say that person just drops their phone or doesn't have quick response time. They're waiting on someone else to get your job done, and no one likes that. No one likes that.
Yeah, I think if they're trusting you enough to log in to do the stream, you should just be able to log in, like, without having to ask them every time. So there's got to be a way for them to be able to get you access to have the two-factor sent to you instead of asking for it every time you have to log in.
So just because I'm sorry, because I need it clarified a wee bit.
You're good.
Isn't, once you sign in, what are they doing? Are they changing the code every single time? Are they changing the password every single time?
Right.
I thought when you two-factored in on a machine, you had the option to have it recognized for 30 days, or you leave it until you get signed out again. So either it's just so I know what's going on. Are they changing the password every single time? Because if they're not changing the password, you should be able to sign in and have it on your machine unless you clear your cookies. Do you know what I mean?
It might be. So reading the question again, it says they use Streamlabs to do the streaming. I'm wondering if that means Streamlabs OBS, and you have to switch the account every time versus like OBS Studio. You can have scene collections and profiles set up. So that might be another thing to look at, is set up
OBS instead.
Yeah.
So that way you don't have to worry about changing it every time you stream. But as far as like,
just change your profile.
So here, I'll tell you what. Let me look at something. Running ads, they can give you permission to be able to access the dashboard. Because I have access to the TRUgaming dashboard right now. Since I have the stream running here, I can get to their dashboard. So
you're saying it's the two-factor.
I can run an ad, but if it's the problem is two-factor, are they just having it like sent into their email, or do they use like Authy or another two-factor authentication app? That might be the better way to go about it.
It's because, like, so for example, I recently signed. I did a fresh Windows install, so everything had to be re-signed into. So I signed into Twitch on this machine. And that's it. Like, until I clear my cookies, or I sign out of Twitch, or need to reinstall, I'm signed in. Yeah. So like even with the two-factor, do you know what I mean? Like,
so I think what's happening is that they're also signing into their own personal account as well, to their own personal streams. So when they do the two-factor, they have to log back in and use two-factor each time. And the problem is someone else has a 2-factor sign to their phone.
They
The
don't
only
get
other
it.
way I can, yeah, so the only way I can think to fix that would be to also keep the 2-factor security, just to change the phone number over to an email if it can, and have like a group email that you can access.
You can also
Or use a different browser
use a different browser.
for both
yeah.
streams.
That's what I used to do whenever I did the True Talk podcast. I kept all of the True stuff logged in to a Firefox browser and all my personal stuff in Chrome. So if you use Chrome, you could download Firefox and have that be like the browser for whenever you're streaming there, and then your Chrome be all of the rest of your personal stuff.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I didn't honestly think of it that way. So hopefully we're able to help you out there, Woody. Let us know if it didn't, because we do want to help you. It's just that's not I don't know. That's a different one for sure. We got Britt who wants to call in, so I'm gonna add him real quick. So MPI, let me know when you're ready.
Go ahead. We did it.
Hello, Britt.
Hello.
What's up, man?
Hey, Brett.
Nothing much. How are you guys doing?
Always good. What you got for us today?
So, recently I've been kind of maybe thinking of like coming back on streaming and doing other content, because recently I've been like digging my feet into YouTube and just like posting clips on TikTok as well. And I kind of want like just cut back streaming, like maybe do it only like 3 days a week, when of course like the other days do like other content like TikTok and YouTube. I
So-
just want like how go kind of start on that road, I guess.
You want to know like what kind of schedule you should do?
Just like how to like really like start doing that sort of thing.
Well, what kind of content are you putting on YouTube and TikTok?
For TikTok, it's just like clips like from my stream mainly at the moment, and with YouTube, it's just like gaming / funny like moment videos.
I mean, We'll start with
So one of the things that you're going to have to do is, and I think it's a good idea what you're doing, like, you know, cutting down on streaming to put more content out elsewhere is a good idea. It really is.
Yeah.
It will help your growth. But what you've got to do is you've now got to create a schedule and stick to it, you know, because now you've got your streaming schedule, which needs to be constant so your viewers know when they're coming, right? But now on the days that you're now not streaming, you have to be consistent with editing your videos and stuff like that, you know,
Right.
because otherwise all you're doing is not streaming as much and for no reason. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So setting yourself a schedule, and one that you know that you can keep. It's all fair and well saying, "Oh, I'm going to stream 3 days a week, 4 days a week. I'm going to edit videos for 10 hours." That's cool if you can do that. Hey, that's wonderful. But is the reality going to be that you can do that? So set a realistic schedule. The other thing is as well about your content creation. Now you've got to look at when you're putting out your videos, trying to get regular days that you put them out. So, and this is just using examples. For example, on Wednesday, I put out a YouTube video at such and such a time. But doing that as well creates the ability for people to know, Britt puts a video out at that time. Again, it's another form of scheduling that will benefit you. So what you've really got to look at now is scheduling and being realistic about it and drawing it out and sticking to it, you know? When you're streaming, when you're doing YouTube, when you're having a break, remember that as well, you know, when you're having a day off. And then when your content goes out, you know, if you put up content 1 week, you're putting a video out on Monday, next week it was Thursday, week after that we went to Sunday. That's not any use. That's not going to be useful to you. That's just willy-nilly, helter-skelter. So everything for you at the moment is literally scheduling and sticking to the scheduling.
Mm-hmm. One thing I will say is that I don't change anything or add anything unless I like any decision that I make on like whether it's streaming or anything or content creation, you also want to remember that you should want to do these things even if you don't see growth out of them. So whatever schedule you stick to, whatever plans you have, for being a content creator, like remember that growth isn't what am I trying to say? What's the word?
Well, it's not instant and it's not linear.
It's not instant.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not a promise that you're going to get any either. So you have to remember that when you do this, it's best to do it for the love of it instead of looking at it from a success point of view. So I just want you to remember that, like, definitely stick to a schedule for sure. And remember that success or growth are not promised in any way. And I just want you to just understand that so you can just focus on enjoying what you're creating and what you're doing as opposed to the return on it. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to help you out.
Yeah.
Anybody else got anything on for Britt?
Oh, you guys hit everything. Pretty much all I was going to say. Stick to your schedule, see what works, see what doesn't, and take data. Take note of data. Use numbers because numbers don't lie.
Yes.
Yeah.
But whilst taking the data, remember small sample sizes don't help you. you know, so you have to stick with this, like exactly like Veli said. Stick with it. Taking the data, it might not work. It might not be great at first. It might start off great and drop, but that doesn't mean that that's it. Larger sample size, more accurate. So both what Veli and Sadomi said,
and what you said. So, what about you, MPI?
I mean, I think that pretty much nails it, man. Like, if people know what day and what time you upload videos, they're going to be more likely to ready to watch it. Just like if people know when you go live, they're more likely to be there when you start your stream. So stick to that the best that you can, and just be, as always, transparent with people. If you start trying this new thing out and you don't like it or it doesn't work, that's cool. You tried it, man. That's more than a lot of people are doing. So if you don't like the way something's working, just mention it. And if it maybe even like the last video that you upload on, let's say a Wednesday, because you found out Fridays are easier for you to upload on. Say, hey, this is the last one's coming out on Wednesdays. We're moving to Fridays next week, guys. It's whatever reason it might be. If it's just harder to get the videos edited in time, if it's you noticed more people watch things on Fridays than on Wednesdays, whatever it is, just be open with people about it and why you're doing things that you do.
Oh, also another thing, have multiple posting times for your video. You live in the UK, so you're Eurocentric times, but have another time where the video is posted which suits all your American friends' time. When they are likely to be able to, dinner time, lunchtime, whatever time that, in that sort of region, because, the chances are if I post something, for example, if I get up in the morning, I post something at 10 o'clock UK time, the chances of Sadomi seeing it, on his Twitter line are, unless he's up really, really late or really, really early, the chances of him seeing it are very slim, So having multiple times that look at when your audience is on, and it's more important because it's static content that you're putting up. It's more important doing that than obviously a going live post for for what do you call it. So having multiple posting times for the same thing, whilst not just spamming the timeline with it every hour, like that will help you as well.
Yeah, 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. EST is the time when most of the English speaking world is awake. So that's some info there.
Yeah. And use technology and stuff to your advantage. There's so many places that you can schedule tweets to go out. You can schedule Instagram
you can do it
posts.
On Twitter now. Twitter have included that. I don't know if you've seen.
Right. Yeah, you can do it directly in Twitter. So use those things for when you would be normally asleep, but all of your, community in the U.S. might be awake. Like Sadomi said, between 12 and 3 Eastern, have a tweet go up at that time, and that might be a time where you're asleep or, whatever it is that you might be doing, that those people will see it. That way you're kind of like hitting both sides of your community and audience.
Smart stuff. Does that answer your question for you, Britt? You got anything else for us?
Yeah, that answers my question.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad we could help you out, man. It's great to have you calling in again.
Same to you.
Catch you later, Brett.
Thanks,
So,
man.
Bye, Britt.
All right, so I think that's going to be the end of the show for today. It's what time is it? It's just past 1
Right
o'clock
at it.
EST. So we're right there. So we're gonna do our sign off here. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. I know it's been a while since we did a show, and I know there was a few shows in the time that I was gone. And thank you, Sadomi, for taking over during that time, man. I really appreciate you. Just had a really stressful time in my personal life, so I stepped away from streaming for a couple months. I stepped away from this. I wasn't even home for the 2 months. I was up north. And so I apologize for everybody for the inconsistency within the last 2 months. And I really appreciate everybody taking the time out of their day to come back and hang out and ask questions and, let us help you, because we really do appreciate everything you guys do for us. And we really do like helping you guys out. So please spread the word about StreamKey. We're back. If you have any friends that are streaming and, need any help at all, I know that there's a lot of new streamers during this quarantine right now. If you know anybody that's doing that and, might need a little bit of assistance, have them tune in or have them check out the podcast on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, whatever it is. It would really, really help us out. And we just want to help out as many people as we can. So thank you guys sincerely for everything you guys have done for us. That's it for today. Sadomi, thank you for being a great co-host as always. I really appreciate you, man. Where can people find you and what kind of stuff are you up to these days?
You can find me at twitch.tv/Sadomi, but first and foremost, I want everyone just to reach out to your friends, make sure everyone's okay. The world is on fire. So first and foremost, take care of each other, look around, and educate everyone.
There you go. Appreciate you. MPI, my dude, thanks for being on the show again. It's awesome to have you. Where can people find you and what are you up to?
Yeah, you can find me twitch.tv/Mr. Pure Instinct. Play a variety of games. Most recently, we've been playing an older game called Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines that our good friend Sadomi forced me to play, whether I liked it or not. But I stream Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time now till about 11-ish. So we play a lot of games. We do a lot of goofy stuff. We talk a lot about mental health, and right now that's something that's really important. So if you guys are struggling and need to talk, need resources, anything, you can come to my channel, or any of these other guys I'm sure would be happy to help you as any way that they possibly can.
Definitely. Dogg Gaming, thanks for being on the show again as always, my dude. Really appreciate you. Where can people find you and what have you been up to?
Well, first off, thanks for having me back on. I love being on here. Fantastic show. And people can find me at Dogg_gaming. I'm Dogg Gaming on all other media platforms. And I'm a variety streamer with a focus on first-person games mostly. And very community orientated. And just like MPI, my channel is a safe space. Come and talk about mental health issues. Very community orientated. And just to echo what Sadomi said, go out and show some love to people. Say hello and smile at someone you don't know. That it'll make a difference. You'll feel good as well.
Hell yeah. And when he says Dogg Gaming, he means D-O-double-G, like Snoop Dogg. So make sure to get that right when you're looking for him.
D-O-double-G.
And I'm Velokk_TV on everything. I've been doing a lot of Warzone and a lot of Valorant. So when that drops tomorrow, I'll be in it for sure. So if you guys want to check out some Valorant or Warzone content, come check me out. But yeah, like everyone's been saying, just spread positivity, do what you can. We could all use it right now. On top of the quarantine that's stressing everybody out, there's all this other craziness going on, and just we all need as much happiness and positivity as we can get. And what goes around comes around. So spread it; it'll come back to you. You'll be happier by making other people happier. I promise. But thanks again for tuning in, everybody. I really appreciate you guys. I hope you have a great day. We will be back next week, Monday morning, 11 a.m. EST. Now, as always, again, because there wasn't. But anyway, we'll be back next week. Thank you guys again for tuning in. And as always, Sadomi,
Stay kind.
there you go. I like that one.
like
It's a
that
new
one.
one. Aw, he's so nice. He's so nice. Have a good one, everybody. Take it easy.